Okay, so let's shift our focus into a practice that is emphasizing connecting the layers of back space and front space time. This is a rolling layer of energy from the back all the way through the neck, and then the core muscles are what allow the back area to open in the beginning. So let's start with our back to the bolster, which is horizontal. And then I know you've been setting up your props and kind of fussing them around, but this will have some definition. So what you'll take is your block flat on its first setting next to the bolster, which is next to your rear. And then you might as well sit up onto it just for safety's sake here. So you'll have enough length under your back for the core work. Now we are going to do a couple different ways of legs up today that are quite different than our regular habits. So noticing how you really recruit your midsection to get into these today. So when you lean back, kind of feel the perch of the ribs and where the definition of the centering kind of impulse is when you kind of lean up. You kind of feel a little bit of internalized grip just to get your brain to lift. Walk your feet in, release your head back to the cushion of the blankets, and then send your hands in to grasp the belt and feel when you hold on to that belt, you'll keep it really simple here. We're going to bring the belt towards the ceiling, so the hands hold the belt wider than shoulder width apart, so it's quite generous and easy for the shoulder. And then bring your right leg in. Feel when you squeeze the knee in, the left foot has the most activating qualities here that you might never even consider. So you push down into your left heel and you connect the spine to lengthen. Okay? So hold here for a moment longer and noticing any kind of outside layer of attention that you could bring into that core strength. Inhale, arms overhead, right foot down. Exhale, bring the left foot in and try to seal off the back that's touching the props, the spaces that touch the props. Inhale, over. Exhale, squeeze the knee in and pull with your hand strength, not just the arm strength on the belt to start. Okay, we'll take it a couple more times at your leisure. It might be 4 for some, it might be too slow. Knee draws in. And then noticing if the strengthening layer is required from your back muscles or is it anything from your upper body. You might notice that it could be all from the rib body down to the hip body that is actually creating a impulsive movement. Okay, next time you come back with the arms and the belt, I want you to emphasize reach now. So you're going to bring your belt so it's really right above the crown of your head so you can easily get a hold of that in a little bit. And then grab your sand and place it across the top of the thighs and go on with lengthening the legs. So feel where the thigh support is. Be sure that if the knees are feeling like they're kind of hyperextending downwards, you might set the feet a little wider. You might even play with the width of the feet. And then let the heels kind of rock a little bit up and forward. So you kind of rock the back muscles into ease and then reach back for your belt. And as you hold on to that, I want you to feel a bit of that tug of energy, like you're pulling and experiencing your back medley of muscles, right? The medley of muscles that are below your shoulder blades. Right? Kind of the mystery meat there that's not so sure if it should push or arch or part of the program, and do what you can to feel the kind of beginning strength wave in your back. I want you to feel like there's a wave of strength by holding your belt. Inhale, fill the belly. And as you exhale, you're going to slide the hands out from holding the belt and open your arms out and feel the back of your arms, the elbows, relaxed on the floor. Center your attention on the lines of breathing in slowly, filling the lungs. And exhale, empty the lungs, let the breath out of the body. Really feel where there's an arch through the waist first, the lungs second, and the spine third. So we want to feel where the rib section actually can expand and radiate with the breath. You get a feel where the chest is open. Yeah, if your heels are pretty heavy right now onto the floor, you might separate them a little bit further out. But feeling where there's dimension across the chest, and there's a relaxed weight into the hips. Let's take about another 12 breaths here. So really encouraging you to stand open. And what you might include in this beginning minute here could be to sample what it's like to move the feet a little bit wider or a little closer inwards. Find the right range for your back muscles. Remember those muscles below the shoulders into the lats. Think about if you're doing weights, you do like a lat pull down, that dimension in the back that is a real wide swath of branching muscles out of the back, out of the sides of the spine. Speak in breaths here. Inhale slow. Land into the breath. Savor the moment of feeling. And exhale, relax out of the mouth. Start to slide your hands down to get your sand and move the sand up to the belly button zone. Feet slide in closer towards your seat and then position the feet together. Cobbler's pose, knees moving out. Okay. So the closer the feet are in towards your center of gravity, it might be comfortable for your thigh muscles to stretch that deeply. I'm going to encourage you to put your sand up across the ribs where the ribs intersect below the sternum. And then reach your hands together, interlacing. Turn the hands inside out, pushing overhead. And feel what lands in the ribs, especially if you have your sandbag this high up, perched up onto the ribs. It may slant back where you're not sure if it's going to actually interrupt your zen here, but you might feel that the span of the ribs, they're quite unique in their width, actually can hold on to the weight. Test your lung strength here. In breath fully. And try to let the belly expand on your inhale. As you exhale, feel the belly relax towards the floor of the spine. Now, with the hands moving apart, what we'll do is access this pose for another minute, your choice, or legs up. So this is a very individual decision depending on testing your back energy, right? If the back feels a little bit challenged right now, thus the props underneath it trying to lift up and expand and help the circulation, you might stay with your feet together, your knees out. But trying the legs up without sand on the feet will require you to move your sand aside. And then as you start to move your knee in at a time, you might have to really hug into the sides of this bolster and scoot your ribs back thus. You have 1 or 2 blankets you choose. And then when the legs go up, noticing how much chest opening this position has. So we're practicing legs up on 2 variations, and both with work on the breathing apparatus, right? The breathing muscles, the primary breathing muscles. So I find that when I do legs up the wall, even though that's in the distant future, the pose is supposedly there to help your lungs expand, get more oxygen in. It opens up the ribs, it opens up the belly, and this replicates that some. So you can kind of notice when you've got a block under your tailbone, and then a bolster under this rib space. To get to that sweet spot with legs at 90 degrees, you might find, if your feet separate, does that help your back muscles? You don't have to say, I won't hear what you say about it, huh? You can unmute yourself though, if you'd like. But the arms go overhead, or the arms go out to cactus, and let the few moments here land into simply being, not trying to force any parts of your back down deeper. Let them almost kind of levitate with the support. To kind of feel where the leg position is if you need to bring them in closer. A few more moments here. This gives us just a feeling of this position. Yeah, how does your heart rate respond? Does your mind stay rather neutral with it? You might feel muscular reactions or resistance in your hip flexors. At the top of the thighs, this might be a little resistant lane of awareness travel, like, nice to spend some time traveling internally these days. Okay, now with this shift, you're going to bend your knees and door one, feel how your back responds. It's a bit intense. So when you lower down a foot at a time, you want to push down pretty well into your feet, and then swing the arms open and reach your hand under to get the block out. And we're actually going to lower our tush down, hold the back of our head with our hands, and then bring yourself up. Okay? Elbows on bolster, tip back so you're supported, lift the left foot up, and cross it to the right knee. Seated in this version of reclining thread the needle or reclining pigeon pose, and we're going to do a couple sensory balance positions here for our working our hips. Now, it may not seem like a real deep stretch, but in our hips, in our leg roots, and into our calves pretty soon. So feel if you can let your elbows kind of make a little bit of pressure into the bolster. So I'm almost trying to tuck them in a little closer, as close as I can get. I have a body in between them, so they're not going any farther in at this point. But when I'm here, my hands are on the sides of my legs, just doing time. Okay, so scan the sensation if it's anywhere in your left leg or in the groins or the left hip. And then we're going to bring our hands back and sit up on the bolster. Relax your tush into the bolster. And then stretch your right leg forwards. And then I want you to get your belt and cross your left leg so it's over the right leg. So it's like so. So you can see the version that's crossed over, right? I'm sitting, I have my leg completely crossed over the other, so the foot is drawing. My left foot draws over towards the bolster. So I'm trying to hook it up to the bolster. Not on top of the bolster, on top of my leg, but on the floor besides how it randomly sets itself. Reach your belt to your right foot. I want you to pull on your arch of your right foot and pull your body to the legs. Either one. Okay, they're both pretty compact in the shape, but noticing the impact in your right calf. Door one is to use the belt. Not required, but an option. Door two would be hands on blocks or hands on floor. It's nice to feel variations and to experiment with how the fluctuations in the kind of the rhythm of reaching out of your back, how it responds in your legs. So I want us to kind of notice how in this beginning set, how legs respond when we are either on our back, reclining, or when we're moving into the leg. Right now, the right leg is the dominant stretch position. So finish this one that you have the belt with your hands both tugging a little higher up on the foot, so it's really at the ball of the foot, and then sitting upright. Try to re-lengthen your spine. Like you're getting up, 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 up. Okay. Pull, really pull with your hands firm so that the foot flesh is stretching. Kind of beyond the skin experience, you feel deeper into the bones. Them bones. Okay, to make this realistic for where we're propped up today, we're going to switch the leg when we're sitting on the bolster. Okay, so I want you to cross that right leg over to the left, hold on firm, pull back, lean forward. Yeah, feel where the dynamic is in the left thigh. Feel where the weight is with the right leg over that left leg. I feel a little different on the second side, probably because we led into this side without a preparatory pose. But we'll get to that. But feel if the calf muscles on the left leg, the calf muscle on the left leg, feels length, or if it feels a pulsing sensation. Try letting go of your belt and leaning forward. Go so safely. So if the back of the left knee is feeling a little bit kind of bombed, right, it's really being pressure bombed by the right leg, you might adjust this one and let the right knee point up a little bit further versus crossing the leg and having the outside of the foot on the floor. So you might have to test that a little bit, but when you lean forwards, can you reach and re-lengthen out of your back? Take the belt and pull at the ball of the foot back, reset. Maybe close your eyes and scan sensation of a foot. Kind of feel the left foot, feel the footing, feel the awareness through your foot. Okay, now when you remove the belt, we're going to sit in front of the bolster. So I want you to actually slide the left foot in, right foot up to left knee. You could get a stretch right here, yeah? I mean, there is an experience here for the hip, but when I sit down in front, I can kind of kick back in a different way with my elbows on my bolster, my thigh tissues, and, you know, feeling if the right knee could motion out. And noticing that maybe the swarm of thoughts could be, where's this pose going? Maybe you can be right here, feeling the alternating experience in your hips, in the buttock muscles. You know it's going to change quite soon. Okay. So feel the left foot parallel, bottom foot. Maybe thumbs up, thumbs down, or casual hands. And now when we start to move over to the left, we're just going to tip over, tippy legs, okay? Move the right leg off the left, and then continue that rotation, but you're going to stop on the side. So you're not going to completely spiral, but it's a half spiral, okay? So with the bolster into getting ready for side stage, some of us know the drill on this one. Everyone in this group does. So I'm going to encourage you to have your block overhead, regardless of how easy it is for you, right? Because you might use it on some strength. If you want to block on the inside of the right knee, or actually this is a ball, okay? And then we're going to grab our sand and slide that sand so it is on the exterior hip or waist. It might start on hip, and then you might see if you can grip and pull it up on your waistband. But hug the bolster with your side. You know, most of our ribs attempt at hugging is like we drop forward and around our back. It's like our hugging expression. So feel if you can lean into your side and get the ribs to have a little bit more flexibility. So really use your bolster. If you happen to have a couple bolsters at home, like a round ones, they work a little better for this, right? For this one pose, only for the one pose. So it's not likely worth to get a whole new bolster maybe for that idea, but there's a few things you can do with those round ones I like. So feel the length. Feel the left knee drawing up closer to the bolster. And then make the experience of connection happen between the extremities, so the leg and the arm. And you want to feel that you're creating an equilibrium here between the two. So it's okay to relax in the middle. And right now the middle might feel like your ribs, or maybe you actually perceive it to be your brain, even though it might be closer to the top, but it seems like a place to relax the brain. So accepting where the shape is fully at. You can continue to loosen up even when your body and the strands of muscle seem to be in their final shape for the pose described. Yeah, feeling any fine tuning, maybe it's the lower arm underneath and across. Maybe it's the expansion and expression of your ribs with your breath. You can move your right arm anywhere you like. If you prefer it behind you, maybe let it rest on your left, close to your left arm. Sometimes that's kind of nice to do, to kind of offer variations you would not have thought of initially, even the most casual of them. Could create an inner environment of just letting go of some area or some consciousness that's gripping you. Right, in comes breath, and out leaves the body. That outer exhalation leaving the body. Now fine-tune some comfortable movement for yourself for a few seconds, whether it's to make sure your head is on the blanket, that it's comfortable and it's resting, but that you can move your chest open. If you're rolling your head on its back. Okay, now before we come around to actual inversion, I want you to notice I would like you to try to influence the chest muscles here. So with our arm open on the upper right side, you can feel it kind of peels open, and it may not really feel like the armpit is what is feeling, but there is certainly a radiance that emanates energetically, or just stretching the zone. It feels like it's tight, so you have sensation. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to actually push through that sensation and bring us into reversing the flow of gravity in that space. So that can go in this direction, right? It can also go into something like a downward dog shape, something like a downward dog. Okay, so we're going to move our sand off of our side. Yeah, and let yourself evolve into this one on your very own. You could kind of hang here and ponder, well, maybe you want to stay here. Okay? You could also come into a sleeping sage pose if you don't want to hang on. That's okay. So you're going to move the ball aside. If you're going to go sleeping sage, you'll be here, okay? And you might turn your blankets this way so that you have comfort for your neck. And those of us that are going to go inverted, some of you will stay sage-ish, and some will be into a different plane of reality. All right, so pivot so your knees are not bothered by the floor. That's important. Lift up the hips and bring your arms to feel touching on the bolster, and feel the ribs move back, feel the heels reach the floor. Open out your paws. Okay, feel your front and your back paws. And notice the front paws have a little bit more, well, they might have more skin in the game right now, huh? Because they're open, and they may have some resistance to opening more or feeling the distribution of weight. So play with that. You're going to lift your heels. You're going to bend through the knees like you're going to hop forward, but resist the urge to try to hop. And then lower down your knees and pause for a moment. Maybe the knees just off the floor. Knees down, shins lightly stretched. Round your back, scoop in the belly, chin to chest. Inhale, wave through the spine, feel the arch, feel the chest forward, feel the head lift. Exhale, hollow the belly, chin to chest. Now, as you look back at your knees, your feet, your legs, you're going to hook the toes under and then scoop the knees in together so they're side by side, toes are under. And then as you lift them up, I want you to bring the left heel as close to the floor as it can go and lift the right leg somewhat upwards. Emphasize the awareness of your left calf. Change sides, right foot down, press the right heel to the floor, kick back the left foot up. Feel from the ball of the right foot back towards the heel. Now, as you lower down that foot, step your feet out a little wider to a wider dog stance. Stretch down into the heels. Try to maintain the energy of strength elongating through the limbs. Now, if you're craving standing forward bend without weight in your hands, this is a good time to aim for that. Walk your feet a little closer, walk your hands back on the bolster, and then hook the hands around your elbows, scoop them up, and then let the brain lower downwards and maintain that edge of pressurizing into your feet and elongating the awareness from your sitting bones, actually all the way down through the pelvis, spine, brain. The pelvis, spine, brain. And then let the head rest. So everything cascades off through the brain down. Now, those of us in forward bend, we're going to lower down the arms, and we'll come back to hands forward, feet back, knees down, and then take side stage with the right hip down, okay? So if you were in sleeping stage, now you get to basically pick up the core and then squish it to the other side and let the left thigh stretch back. And then lengthen the right arm between the two prop bulky sets. Block or ball inside the left leg, stand option. Not required, right? But this is a good mechanical support for traction, right? We're not all about traction. So feeling if the waist stretches, feel if the back muscles are okay, they're cramping up or there's a little bit of pressure in the nerves here, you might have to bring your left knee closer to your right foot. And so calculate by being in the shape and feeling. Be willing to explore whether the arm is over onto the block with the hand touch, or the arm is open. And remember the chest stretching is important. Feel the openness through the chest. Reach the arm. Lengthen the side. So as you feel the inhale, experiencing on the exhalation that you're able to get a little heavier. Right? It's not a part of the breath phase that you let your nervous system wake you up. It's the phase of breathing that you let go through. If it only worked all the time, right? In our minds, if we can let go, but it might start with something like breathing and feeling our physical body, letting go and approaching that could be helpful. So take a few more moments here, be insightful to how your head feels more comfortable right in your brainstem and your neck. Lucky for us today, we're going to let our sequence kind of dive right into moving onto our back and do a very essential back support, care, strength sequence. But feel the side body, feel the radiance through the ribs. Do about another 4 breaths. So side elongation. Now as the left arm goes a little bit further, okay, feel that arm go where it's comfortable for you, either open or down by your right arm. Okay, curl in, and this time we're going to move our stand. But what I want you to do first is taking anything away from under the leg. And you'll keep your ball nearby if you have one. Move the bolster if you're looking forward from sitting to the right side of your mat. And then behind you, you're going to have one blanket. Hey, let's try the bolster this way. So we'll have a bolster, a blanket on top. If you don't have our towel or whatever you might have for height, and we'll just kind of see how that sorts out for back ease. Okay, so we need our belt. And we need our block, and if you have a ball, keep that nearby. And let's start here. We'll place the block between the knees. Block is narrow, the lowest setting. Now, when I hold onto the block with my hands, right, I'm going to hold and lean back and squeeze with my legs. Now, my hands lower down, side to my hips. I inch my elbows down to ground, and then I lower down, slide my feet in, and then at last my head can be on my blanket. Thank goodness. Okay. All right, so let's place our hands so they're at the thigh lids, so at the top of the thighs. Your heel of your hands feels like it's at the thigh lid. And your emphasis here is on trying to let that thigh flush, that's fairly movable. It kind of moves up and back and it slips and slides. So you're going to feel the connective tissue first, and the bones will follow through. So as long as they're all connected, they might come through with this one. So press down through your heels, scoop your tailbone under so it's a pelvic tilt. Be very slow and mindful. My hands feel like they're kind of seated on the thigh. Like they're kind of getting a little deeper into the leg. So as I lift up my hips, I'm going to actually try to push my hands and get a hold of that tissue on the top of my thigh and go against gravity and try to move it the other direction. Okay, we'll be working with this piece. So feel the lift of the hips. Okay. So if you have another block nearby or back overhead, I want you to place that block at the mid-height under the sacrum. Yeah, it might be a tough endeavor for you. It might be a little much in the very initial stage. But this way, I can decide if I want my blanket under my head or not. Too much flexion in the neck for me, so I'm going to go without it. So my shoulder blades are centered down. But I want you to get a feel of your feet adjusting to ease. There's not any massive pressure that needs to happen there. But move your shoulder blades in towards the spine and feel your hands move open. It almost feels kind of ridiculous gesture with the arms. Like you got these wings, you're kind of moving your hands out to your sides. So the arms are not so robot arms, they kind of fling out like chicken wings. I hesitate saying that, but I will. So feel the chest open, the hands out, and see if you can get your hands to move a little farther down towards the floor. Feel if the shoulders will allow you to do that. How do I do that? How do I get my shoulder blade to open my chest? So now we're going to reach our hands down towards our feet. Okay, and just let the palms open. Feel the shoulders down and in towards the spine. And then just be here. You don't have to be pushing deep into your feet to lift and show anything. Impress yourself. Just impress your block between the knees. Try to squeeze that block. Spine long. Or spine long. How about that one? Spine long. Breathing spine long. Okay, so we're adding on here. So what we're going to do is push down, lift up the hips. Okay. Now the block will come back and play in a bit. And so what I want you to do is slide the block from under your pelvis out, lower your spine comfortably. And then inhale, arms overhead, hands reaching, feet pressing hips up. Exhale, spine lengthens down. Flowing bridge. Inhale, push, and enable the heels striking down to feel all the way into your buttock muscles. So it's the very beginning of that network of muscles. It feels like it's kind of chiseled in really deep, and then there's all this span of tissue that grows out of that space. So go to that really root buttock feeling. Lower down. Okay, we'll go one more time. Now, those that have a ball, okay, you can stop the lift and lower, and you could add your ball to your right buttock, and then bring your hands to anywhere USA, right here in your room. You can move a little bit side to side and massage your back glute. I want you to keep the block between the knees. That's the challenge on that one. It's a little bit of a challenge. Those that are drawbridging are wondering what that ball is like. Okay, move the ball to the other buttock and feel what it's like with the ball, only with the block between the knees, right? You can't get a lot of difference with the massage, but use the weight of your body into the ball and then see if you can move a little side to side, just for a few more seconds. Okay, now this buttock flesh is going to get a little bit more tone. So when we lift up, you're going to lower down the spine. Okay, grab your belt and notice the measurement of the legs when you have the block. Like feel the span of the hips. Now this is where you want a blanket under your head. We're going to go into a supported bridge pose, very supported. So we'll take a belt, we'll bring the knees in, and we'll buckle up the thighs. Now, if your belt loop is awfully big to start, I want you to cinch it up all the way. You might as well bring your knees back in over and over until you get your belt around and you notice. Okay, it's about at my block definition. Now I'm going to remove the block. Okay, and I want you to make the belt on the legs so it's as high on the legs as you comfortably can have. High up. You're going to need to get it away from your legs soon enough. But we'll start here. Feel the energy of the legs. If you have two belts, let's just say you have two at home, you could buckle up the legs so you have two belts. You have one at the top, you have one to the lower edge just above the knee, right? So it doesn't, you don't split out the knees that way. Now when you push down into your feet, you'll lift your hips up and you'll slide the block flat under the back of the pelvis. Think about, you want to make sure your tailbone can relax into the block. So I try to really get my hips up, kind of like you're holding a dime between the buttocks, right? You really have to kind of lift that space so that front hips can open. Okay, and then when you lower down, you might be able to tighten this down a little bit more. It's only going to help your back in the long run. Have this pretty defined. Now send the legs down. Let them go downtown as you know it, and then flex your legs into your feet. Lift up the ridges of the ribs, like this emphasis from your hips to the belly pool. That's like a nice little kind of calm pool here. Not much rustling through it, it's pretty still. And then you're moving your shoulders back. And your arms are down. Now, see if you can find a balancing pattern here through the shoulders back and all the props that you've adjusted here to experience the chest neutral. It's neutral, but it's open. This back awareness comes with time. At first it might feel sensitive in your lower back, but creating these arches that are very balanced in our spinal awareness, just architecturally, I think can be really helpful in the long run for equilibrium in our back and our hips. We shall see. Time will tell. You know, feel the feet kind of rock away from the flexing experience. If they turn out, the thighs kind of roll open, notice what happens in your back. If it's a pleasant world there, you can stay with it. If you can move your feet a little farther out, this is where having one belt works best. You're trying to step the feet out a little bit here and feel the difference in the back. That's pretty good for me. Now, if the back of your pelvis is tilted enough that you cannot press the tailbone down anymore, it doesn't happen as easily here. Recreate that. We're going to slide our feet in. And then as you have the knees pointy, you're going to push down into the feet and take about 5 seconds to actually really recruit your leg muscles to push down and lift up your hips. Go micro motions here. Lift up your hips. Okay, use the resistance of the belt. You can always make it tighter so you have more work you're doing. Not so tight you have no feeling in your legs, but that's good. Now remove your block, okay? And then as you start to glide your between the shoulder blades touch, below the shoulder blades, gentle, and then try to really scoop the tailbone under, and then let the spine ease down. Okay. Unbuckle the belt, bring the left knee into the chest, and then reach your belt under the left foot, evenly holding with both hands. Slide the right foot down, and then holding the belt together. You might actually feel the calf kind of hold. Hold the belt together and hold it, with your right hand. So it's together, right hand grips that belt, and then you cross the leg over to the right, your left leg. Left arm is open. Feel if that leg can be led, not with a destination in mind, but you're kind of rolling on the right hip. And so feel that connection from your inspiration of your right hand, kind of working away on holding the belt. The right elbow is on the floor, bicep is slightly toned. Your right bicep is a little toned here. Now enjoy your transition and pace yourself. You get to pace this one. So the right leg, you get to pace this one. The right leg can be soft. And then you're going to bend your left knee. The foot of the belt is going to slide out. And then approach the bolster with your leg. You might find you have to pull it up a little bit on that right side, but the blanket is a nice option to balance the hip. If it's too easy with the blanket, you want more stretch in your thigh, you can just get rid of it. The ball at the sacrum is nice if you have a ball. No, don't worry about it. It's just a thought. And then add a sandbag to the exterior left thigh. Feel where the range is, right, on the lateral rotator, that left outer thigh. And you might even try doing a position with the sand that doesn't necessarily feel, it's not your normal, that you do. Some of us have our routines on where we put the sand. It's 50-50, right? You got the hip, you got closer to the knee that people choose. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more neutral, so it's not like I'm forcing it into its maximum range. Feel support by sand, by ball. All right, and then visualize you're on the beach. Feel your left arm open. It might be visualizations. You might have to have a whole class on that. Visualizing where you go. So where that knee is moving over, is it your knee that feels the sensation, or is it your thigh muscles, hip, low back? Feel the belly breath defining. It's a fairly defining moment to feel the belly go to its end range of movement with the breath. It's in its own little bubble, isn't it? But when you breathe in, you can do diaphragmatic breathing, expand and contract. Now, those of you that want to feel the left arm reaching maybe a little farther back, taking that. If you have two sandbags, you can put one on the left arm, or maybe you have a little bag of weight. Bag of rice works great. You know, so if you have an extra one in your cupboard, you might bring it to your practice. As long as it's all put together, the bag, you know. Not something you're gonna nibble on in practice, I don't think, uncooked rice. So feel where the arm is open, feel where the hand is wide. And then we take the brain back to center. Close the eyes, breathe slow. Feel the belly trying to actually lift up towards vertical on the breath. Massaging the organs. Now move any object you have at the sacrum. And then we're going to scoop the knees in to settle the hips to balance. So you'll bring your hands to take any sand weight you have off your leg or bag or whatever. And bring your knees in carefully. Slide the right foot in. That's really important. Push into the foot to bring the spine back to symmetry. And then we counterpose to bring symmetry. So sand is on the shins or the back of the legs, the hamstrings, if this feels too much on the knees. Okay, so if this doesn't work here, or the shins, you can bring the sand to the hamstrings. Okay, now with that direction, feel the arms open or cactus-like. That's pretty good. I like the cactus arm direction. And feeling where the back muscles respond to the breathing muscles, or if it's even accessible for you to breathe into the back of the lungs. So I find, and you're in your own space, you could do this. You could work with a little more breathing with your mouth, right? Because you'll feel your ribs expand. You can feel that movement in the back of the rib cage, and breathing into the nose next time, which is preferred. You might be able to gradually get that to widen. Now, of course, that breathing through the nose is a little better filter on nostrils, right? We got some good filters there, so we're preferring that. But you can tell that sometimes with the mouth, you can get a little more connection occasionally to your back breathing. Liberate those lungs. Okay, let's switch the bolster. Now, this might take a little bit of experiencing. My habit has always been to lift it and move it over, and I'm trying to do just better function, right, for my nervous system, for my structure, not wipe it out. And so I'm going to take my sand off my legs and then see if I can scoop my bolsters below, not over my ribs. Okay. So this time we'll go right into it. We're going to stretch the left leg down. We're going to take the belt under our right foot, lift up, hold the belt with both hands initially, just to get it there. And then close off the belt, hold with your left hand, cross over to the right. So carry through with experiencing the flesh of the leg and then feeling how that cruises through the hip corners and then into your back shelf. You know, the feeling that stretch of the kind of the outer sheath of the hip. And then it might not really get into your back that easily. So if you're using the bolster, let's say it's in your way and you stop with the bolster, you might try to stretch it kind of beyond the bolster. Like move the bolster a little bit down so that you might get a little more of the back sensation. Not that you have to have that. If the bolster feels good, use it. This is ideally a restorative class. You're finding how you can replenish and recover. This is like a recovery yoga. Recovering my body's wisdom. There we go. The new book. Okay, so push into the foot. Open out through the right arm. Head turns to the right. Now take the right knee to bending. Don't get too excited about staying there because it will change. And then you're going to slide the bolster to support you. I'm going to stay with the blanket idea. You don't have to. Now, I don't want the leg to be hiked up too high over and up. So when I balance my stand, this is so nice to be in practice, kind of bear witness to all the little things in your inner environment and your skeletal environment. So as your left knee is soft, your right leg is kind of hooking over. So adjust, feel the weight, don't just slap it on, maybe sampling hip, mid, then knee, might be worth your experiencing, kind of exploring would be the word. And then feel where you really get a good feel that this was worth it. The left knee may need to bend quite a bit for you to feel like your lower back is comfortable. Now, if you touch your lower back, like at the very base-ish of the spine, close to the back of the pelvis, and you kind of nudge that space, you want to notice that it's really indented. There's a dent in that space. That's where the ball goes, is the dent, okay? Ball denting. Denting by grippy ball. So, right arm is out, head turns to the right. You're in this final expression of this pose. The only direction from this sequence is going to go up. You're not going to be on back much longer. So, savor it. Okay. Savor the expression. It's nice to balance our sequence for positive structural integration, really. So when your head turns right, feel the ribs, feel the turn. If there's a deep stretch in your hip, I want you to try to stay with it. The sensation might not completely like evaporate. I don't know what that would be on the other side. It would be no feeling, but you want to have sensation and bring it into your body. Study that, breathe deeper. You might feel more freedom in your stride and your walk. You kind of have a new moving signature with a lot of this practice sometimes. So play with it for a few more seconds. Just breathing easy. Spine turns, chest open. Arms could be both standing out. If you feel comfortable with your arms out, stay with that. Okay. So now when we start to lengthen our spine from our arms and our legs, like really work the whole mechanical opportunity you have with having arms and legs and torso. What you'll do is you'll move the ball first from the dent, okay? The sacral dent. Okay, and the sands. All right, get rid of that sand. Okay, now as you move your knee in, this time, hug them in, hug your knees. Bolster is going to just kind of be away for right now. Hug your knees up. And then when you hug in, you can hold the back of the legs, you can hold below the knees. You have options to get some rhythm in the back, going cross fiber side to side. And this might be a nice way to gesture before you roll up. So you get a little cross fibering. And this might be one also where, well, this might be some, where you put your ball back to the sacrum. You don't have it in between your knees. And you really get a little bit more of that massage. If you're in town and you need one of these grippy balls, I can get them to you. They're kind of nice for self-massage. You can watch the Swishable YouTube ones and get a couple of different sessions with them, just ball massage. Okay, so as you start to come up, when you unwind, you can have the knees into chest and then roll up into a couple spinal rolls. If your back feels comfortable with it, feel motion, dynamic. And then I want you to bring yourself to all fours. Okay, so we'll take our blankie in. You'll likely have to bring your legs back to fold into this one. But when your hands and knees are placed, get a feel here where your hands stretch open again. And your knees are together. And we'll stretch the left leg back, the right arm forward. Inhale. And then exhale, right hand down, left knee down, and reach back through the hips. So lean back almost to a child's pose, the toes are under. Inhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, come back. And alternate this with a increase in pace until you almost feel like all of a sudden you're working your heart a little bit. Okay, so you feel that if you hunker down on this one, you have your head facing, eyes facing down, and when you alternate leg and arm, and you keep a good pace with it, 1 breath per movement is a natural rhythm for this. Keep the pace. And the next time you come back, I want you to stay there for a moment, move the knees apart with the toes touch. If coming back to child's pose this way is a little grueling on your knees, grab your blanket and place it on the top of your calves. Tuck it in good behind your knees, and then center down. But I want your head to be downwards on floor, not on bolster if possible, so forehead down. Creep your fingers forward. Try to let the flesh of the ribs extend. Take a few moments. For this final set, we're going to be doing some dynamic and then into the restore, recover mode. So feeling the low back span and open. Try to let your forehead touch down. You know, when you start to come forward and to table, depending on if you have a blanket, move that aside, of course. Take the toe pattern so that as they hook under, you have a wide stance with your knees and your feet. So when you lift up your knees and your hips back, stand the hands out a little wider so everything's kind of closer to the edge of your mat distance-wise. And you're reaching the chest open. So feeling when you're in this wide stance, let the weight of your head relax down out of the roots of the spine. This is kind of fun because the roots of your body are in some sense the brain right now, not so much just the spine base, but to feel that difference, try to. Give yourself a little bit of opportunity to explore. Explore resistance. That's where we're at on this one. Okay. So now we're going to step the feet together, and I know I mentioned we were doing many standing at all, but we're going to do a wide stance, forward bend. So I want you to look around to where your blocks are first, okay? Have them to the left side of your mat, okay? Unless you need them under your hands. Step the right foot forward and then turn to the left side. So you have your right foot forward on the mat. That's important. Okay. Have a belt. Okay. First things first. Bring the belt behind you. Structure the back of the knees. So you might hold the back of the knees. Right? Feel where that socket space is, and I want you to just let the hands hold and make sure they stay in a mild bend the whole time. Okay. So I try to trust that I know where that is, that dent. We don't have anything to put in the dent, that's fine. Hands back, palms forward. Structure your feet so you can manage this one. If you're stumbling or you're slip sliding away or you're just thinking, gosh, when's the next pose? You might have your feet a little closer, okay? And then hands overhead, bend your knees and let your neck relax down. Different in an inversion without your hands pushing the floor away. Let the weight of your head stretch your spine. So feel the weight of the head down. Let go of your belt. Reach to your blocks. Take them both at the mid to low height. You be the decider. And then I want you to actually slide them a far forward, a far out asana. And as I have my hands approaching, I'm focusing on my sensation and my structure, not on however it was designed and should be. I want you to try to work with feeling your feet now parallel. So if they're pivoting in, try to bring them to parallel as you know it. And then reach your hips back and span everything. So it's all about spatially reaching through arms, through legs, stabilize your hips. Right, hips are crucial. Having balanced hips is really important for balancing, right? For balancing when you're going downhill, when you're on a trail, having some balance in your hips and stability is huge. So this is a good pose for that, right? Not when you're going downhill, but when you can practice this, stabilizing your hips, you're going to stabilize the back of the legs all the way through the hamstrings down to the heel posts, your heel post. And then as you're reaching your hips back, feel wide. Okay. Go from width here, and then move your blocks to the right foot and turn forward. Turn the foot, feel the turn all the way into the back foot, turning that forward. And then as your left knee behind you comes down to the floor, I want you to guide your right knee forward so that you feel the left thigh stretch, as long as your right knee is above the ankle and not over the toes. Okay. So you can move your blocks up, you can keep them mid or lower height, you choose. So as we craft the stabilizing factor in our hip, feeling kind of this webbing of the quad. You can almost feel, if you contract your buttock on this left leg, you can feel that structural possibility in your hip joint. And mostly in your hip flexor right now, huh? So feel where the thigh moves down. It's not going to touch the floor right now. Probably any of your living experience in this structure, you can feel the thigh touch down here with your right knee bending, but you can feel your knee touch. That's the beginning. Unless you were like in the splits, right? That would be possible. So careful this right knee. Now, if my right knee it's pushing out into my arm. It's pushing out. It wants to go there. So I'm going to lean back and walk my foot over to the left side. So my right knee goes out and I sit into pigeon. Now, let's say you start to lower your knee down. You notice, oh, it's going to be a pretty deep pigeon stretch. what you can offer is, I like this, is 2 blankets stacked. I don't know how else you have them besides stacked, but a stack of blankets, 2, or towels, whatever you got for both, and scoot it back and then come into that. So I have, it's like a bolster that way. It's a swishable fabric compared to the cotton batting of a bolster, but it does bring that perch for my pigeon perch. So the elbows could be down, you can get your bolster in, and then lower down your elbows. So the hard object is in front of you instead of underneath your head this time. So feel the zone of the thigh, the inner branch of the leg. Maybe you feel more inner, maybe you feel more outer. Try to let the suggestion be to relax your lower back. So head down. Now we'll bring the left elbow down on the floor of the bolster. Well, it's already down there, isn't it? But you're going to turn to the right. So my left arm is crossed underneath me, right, in this form. And then I turn to the right and bring my right arm around my back towards my left hip, towards my right foot is actually where it's going. But right now I'm staying with the hip version. So you could be on the bolster or on the floor. Right, this is better. I don't notice a big difference in my sensation. The bolster might be not as good for some people because it scrunches your shoulder up to your ear too. So you could try both and see what's better for your arm length. But take a moment here. Okay, feel the twist, right, through the mid back here. Okay, now hands down. We're going to come back to plank pattern. So we're going to move back, right? More of an upright push-up. Feel the heels reach back, feel the hands wide. Wide stance with hands is helpful. Okay, now when you move your hips back for that downward dog version of events here, feel the roots of yeah, you really can't underestimate the power of the versions, right? So use them if you don't have a lot of daily practice of this type of thing. Use it now. Reverse that flow of gravity through the organs. It's opposite of our downward pull in the day. So it's soothing to the organs, maybe not to your arms. Okay, lower down to that right knee and then step the left foot forward. So we're into our lunge. We've got our blocks and we've got our right leg back and lowering down as the left foot scoots forward and the knees above the ankle. Okay. So encourage your right thigh to kind of peel open. That might not be a word for it. It's sort of a series of lowering sensations through the thigh. You know, and that front of the thigh is so guarded. So give it some time, even if you get through maybe kind of first phase of it opening, just like you feel that this top of the thigh attachment just open, like a shutter opens, and then it closes when you get out. Just notice that you have something. You have something happen. Yeah, and if your buttock, you can contract your right buttock like you're squeezing the right buttock cheek, right? It helps the lower back from kind of sliding open. It gives it some strength to the lower back. Give it a few more moments, time. Only time will tell. And then when you lean back, you're going to simply walk the left foot over to the right? We did that last time. We talked about it a little bit farther down the line. When you walk the foot over, now I've got my blanket stacked still. So when I leave my left knee open, I'm going to stretch the right thigh fibers back. And then I can either have my hands on the bolster or the floor. I like the bolster. It could also be under your forehead. So if you don't want this version, you could push it in front of you and go to the forehead down. Right? And so that might feel comfortable in your lower back. But regardless of where the pose goes, that you might have a little bit of muscle memory where it goes from here, see if you can be present for this piece so you're not always ahead of yourself. Right? So feel, I can be ahead of myself where we're going with it, but you can study just the influence right here of elongating the side beam of your left buttock through the hip. You might fumble with leaning from side to side just to massage across the joint. So we're going to take a mild twist. So the right elbow is on either the bolster or the floor, like so. So I tilt to my right shoulder. And then the left hand has got to pick itself up and move to the right hip. If one side is a little more strained and you need some support, you can grab your block or your bolster, put it under your elbow. It might make a big difference to have just that little bit of help from your props. You can get some help from your props. Maybe not your friends in class, but props, media, trying to give some support. For me, it's different from side to side. It feels like this side has a little bit more tension riding up a little bit for the hip and the spine, the neck. So you might turn your head down. Still have that rhythm of movement. We're going to go right into actually see the twist work. So you are getting into that circulation dynamic for your back. Now, where your left leg is centering, we're going to stay here. So left hand comes down. Shift your weight into your left hip, okay? And then when you come up, I want you to move your right leg over your left. And you're seated. I'll turn a little bit towards you. I want you to sit in these two different shapes we're working with right now. That the lower body is a shape that has a rotating, it's a left knee is rotating out, hip is open, right? Inner leg. So get the sand on that thigh high up. And then if your knee is okay, if this hurts this knee, like from the get-go, you want this leg to be straighter. Okay, same designs, just the leg is straight. Okay, so we have either bent or straight, and then we'll take the right leg and cross it over the left. Okay, with me on this. And then when you turn, you'll have a block behind you, and you'll reach the left side of your back across into the arm. Pin that arm and turn. Pin and turn. So get a feel that you have resistance, which is usually inhales, right? Inhales are the yang part of our breathing, and then the yin is right when we exhale. But you need both parts to survive. After so long of focusing on the breath design, you sort of lose track and you wander, your mind just kind of wanders around. See if you can come back to the breath. Just for this little bit of time left here, focus. Okay, now with the dynamic in your spine, I'm not so interested if your hand is perfect, your shoulder's perfect. The key here would be to leave the block behind you and then bring your arms back forward to hug in the top leg. Sit upright, realign, refine the lift of your spine and your shoulders back, your chest up. Okay, visualize that you can uncross and cross the other side. Just visualize that in your mind because visualization affects the brain too, right? Visualization affects it. And then you can visualize you did the other side. All right, so now let's see if it makes the other side easier. So I'm gonna uncross and I'm gonna change sides right away. I'm just gonna go right leg down, stand on, just see how the spine responds. Left leg crosses over right. Hook the right elbow to the left, just above the knee, and then turn. You know, if your guts, right, if this area gets a little bit kind of, it starts passive when you twist, and then you have to kind of catch yourself or actually grab it and move. You might feel when you're seated that you could use your left hand to kind of grab your core, the soft part of the core, not like the rib core, but the soft core, and just feel the design of that tissue move a little left, like you kind of swipe it left, like you're massaging it left. And then the right elbow hooks to that left leg, and left hand gets back to the block. Work on the significance of length in your arm. Both arms would be nice, huh? And then what's in between the heart center? Yeah, see if you can get that heart center to turn to the left. Feel the elbow hook. Feel the defining moment of the back of the right arm. Push. Kind of like you're using your tricep a little bit here. The back of the right arm. Feel the muscle push. I know it's not all sleepy dreams and restorative, is it, for this type of restorative? And now, if you're breathing in this position, get a little deeper. Don't hold your breath till you get out. Okay, with vision and visualization, right? Do they go together? Like vision, internalize the rotation. Start to loosen up your pressure with that right arm. And you might move your block aside. You don't really have to, but come back center. It's nice to have things back to normal in this position. And then hug into that left leg. Realign your spine up. So you're trying to work on centering up, expanding the rib cage. Relax the internal organs. Okay, now as you let go of the knee and noticing the kind of the back kind of releases. So this back energy, when we go to our upside down finale, I want you to try to let that back energy kind of slough back towards the brain versus sloughing down like gravity's pull is this way. Most of the day it's dropping. We're dropping and the organs are dropping and there's that prolapseal effect internally. Let's give ourselves several minutes in an inversion today. So I want you to take off your sand, keep it nearby. If you're going to use the wall space or a couch or a bed for the legs up, I want you to uncross first and then shake out the legs a little. You can be tapping, you can fists, you can be slapping. Anyone, you want to do business. So just continue to the leg. Okay. So we're going to take our bolster over to a spot where you can get your legs upside down. So I want you to take the bolster up, tucked up to the wall. And yeah, you might be using a lot of props. You know, if you have a carpeted floor, you might be very comfortable without redesigning your mat. It's kind of overdone sometimes with prop. So you take a blanket or a little, you might have a tiny pillow you can use. Just kind of find out your furnishings and how you can use them. All right, so legs up. Now, if you're going to sit on your bolster and then put your legs up on a bed, that's going to be a little different directionally, but we can do most similar variations here. So, meaning you might not be sitting on a bolster at the edge of the wall. You might just swing your legs up on top of the height, which is a chair, a sofa, a bed. So you're going to lean down if you're using the wall on your bolster piece, because this way it doesn't slide away. Right, it's at the wall. Sit on the edge. Those of you that are used to this routine of rhythm of swinging the legs up, I want you to get pretty hunkered down here and then try to roll on the shoulder that is the downward shoulder that you're swinging around from. So I want this to open up the upper back. So it's like you're going into a somersault. You're going to turn and then swing the legs, and you might swing off and fall on the other side. Maybe try again. This is like your amusement for the day. Okay, amusement. Yoga. Okay, so feel where the ribs are lifting. Now we're back to the opening of the belly, the rib cage. Get some weight on your feet. If you have your legs up on a bed or a couch, you might not want to have weight on your feet. You might have your knees bending and kind of lifted over, but they're at least up. That's the key, is your thigh tissues are upside down, and so you can drain the fluid in the legs. So feel where the back of the pelvis is quite expandable. Like you want to think of your ribs on the back zone as being able to keep widening. It's like you want to put yourself in a bigger outfit. You know, like you're trying to put on something and make yourself grow out into it. So feel the body widen out, especially the back of the pelvis on the bolster. And then widen out your arms and relax your eyes, your brain. If you have an eye pillow, close and feel the darkness, experience cerebrally. That could be helpful, whether it's a eye pillow, a very light towel, small little hand towel can be nice. Your eyelids work a little bit with that, closing the eyes, creating that curtain of darkness to the brain. But let's try feeling the feet, if your legs are at the wall, flexing, and the knees get closer. Feel the energy of the legs in the thighs, reversing their flow of gravity. Let your arms be wherever they feel comfortable, whether they're straight back, and you imagine someone's kind of holding the hands and giving you some traction. If you have a second bag of rice or sand, you could put it in your hands. Let your head nod a little side to side. And let's fill up the belly with a deep breath. Relax on the out breath, let go. Deep, deep in breath. Empty the lungs as you exhale. And then relax your hands. Feel where your arms are the most comfortable, whether they're on your body. By now, the breathing muscles have kind of redirected traffic inside. So it could be a little charged in your lungs, and if you were talking, it could sound a little bit challenged. So we want to kind of make that breakthrough with breathing here. Important after about a minute and a half, 2, is that breakthrough breath. Deep, deep breath in, belly full. Exhale out of the mouth. Feel the breath leaving the body. Inhale. And exhalation. Continue to experience the peace of your breath and calming the mind and the heart. Now, if you have the sand on the feet, try bending the knees, flexing the feet, move the feet off of the wall, and then at your leisure, bending the knees so you're in a leg press position, and then move the sand aside or overhead. It could drop behind you. That's fine. Just be courteous to your joints, how you're pushing away the sand. And then if you have the wall, you're going to bring your feet together-ish. So cobbler's pose. Hands at the legs is quite effective at defining the structure in your thighs and stabilizing your hips. So just think about this in your weekday habits. If you're out doing a lot of outside stuff, any kind of stuff, doesn't have to just be walking, but water stuff, just keep working on hip stability. You can do things like placing a block between the knees, squeeze that when you're standing as well, not just on your back. So when you feel that pressure, bring your hands to your knees and feel the feet of the wall slide down, knees to chest, and then carefully give yourself a few seconds before you roll up. And take a moment when you're on your side because the blood pressure is lower, and then come up. And you don't jump up to stand, you just take a simple seat cross at the ankles and feel where the spine muscles connect to the shoulders and move the shoulders back. Yeah, feel the hands in your lap, feel the spine line and reset. And let's unite our focus. The hands merge in front of the heart space and bowing our brain down to that heart center. Feel the eyes lowered all the way down, closing in. And as we gather attention, uniting the focus to breathe and wellness to ourselves. Maybe you have a moment of dedication in the practice right here, or a wish, or a hope. And let's breathe in together and exhale, bowing into your heart. In gratitude, namaste. Okay, thank you.